It's 1998, the launchpad of India's missile program hums with tension. A young scientist clad in simple khadi watches a missile lift off, his heart thundering with it. This is Abdul Kalam, a boy from a dusty town now behind the country's greatest rocket. But how did a fisherman's son soar beyond the clouds to become India's missile man? Let's unlock the wings of fire. Kalam's journey didn't start in labs or boardrooms. It began in a tiny fishing village where curiosity met circumstance and humble dreams sparked a lifelong quest for knowledge. In Rameswaram, young Kalam would sit by the seashore, his father explaining the tides and the stars above. This early exposure to nature's wonders fueled a quiet fascination with flight and the cosmos, forming the roots of his scientific intuition long before textbooks entered his life. Faced with limited resources, Kalam became his own teacher. Like a relentless explorer charting unknown lands, he devoured physics books, tinkered with radio parts, and wrote poems about stars. This self-driven learning wasn't just survival, it was a forge shaping his mind for innovation. When Kalam failed his initial exam to join the Indian Air Force, instead of despair, he saw a new path. Rejection became a redirection, teaching him resilience. This pivot led to his admission at Madras Institute of Technology, where he sparked into the aerospace field, proof that failure is often the clearest launchpad. Imagine the strain of building a missile program from scratch in a developing nation. Kalam didn't just dream rockets, he engineered India's ascent on the world stage, crafting tools of power in impossible conditions. At DRDO, Kalam took charge of Project Devil, a covert initiative to build surface-to-air missiles. Amid argument, deadline crunches, and political pressure, he rallied scientists and engineers into a tight-knit unit. His leadership wasn't about command but igniting shared purpose, turning a patched team into India's missile dream factory. Without access to advanced technology, Kalam compared missile development to cooking a gourmet meal with scarce ingredients. Each innovation had to be resourceful. Broken sensors became puzzles, local materials substituted for expensive imports. This ingenuity didn't just save money, it nurtured an ecosystem of creativity that powered India's defense autonomy. The crafting of the Agni and Prithvi missiles was more than engineering, it was art. Kalam described the missiles as 5 arrows of Indian defense, imbued with national pride. Each successful test flight was a burst of collective triumph, linking scientific rigor with the heartbeat of a nation safeguarding its future. Kalam's journey didn't stop at rockets. His story soared into the hearts of millions, transforming from a quiet scientist into India's beloved president, a beacon who ignited dreams in every corner of the country. Known for wearing simple attire and genuine warmth, Kalam's humility stood in stark contrast to his monumental achievements. He walked through crowded streets as one of them, earning the nickname People's President. This groundedness made his words burst with authenticity, inspiring ordinary people to believe in extraordinary futures. Post-presidency, Kalam dedicated himself to mentoring youth, visiting schools, and inspiring millions through his message. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result in action. He knew the real missile was the spark inside every young mind ready to lift the nation. Kalam's vision culminated in plans for India as a developed nation by 2020, blending science, education, and ethics. His legacy isn't just scientific, it's deeply human. A testament that with passion and purpose, you can fuel a whole country's wings of fire. Remember that night in 1998, the missile soaring against the sky? Kalam's story shows us it all starts with curiosity lit by humble roots, fueled by relentless learning and channeled through vision. So here's a simple move. Tonight, pick one little curiosity, a fact, a question, or a dream, and chase it fiercely. That's how your wings of fire begin to grow. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.